Okay, fun. First thing, spades. All right, our favorite suit. Spades basically are the self trying to live here, life. The reason spades has a tough rap is simply because the fact is life is hard. You know, we have planets, your benefics. Moon when it's waxing, Mercury, Jupiter, and Venus. And Mercury is really only a benefic when he's not with what we call a malefic or cruel planet. So basically we got between half the moon being malefic, benefic, and the Mercury only being benefic sometimes. We sort of have like three nice planets that make life easy and cozy. Then we've got the Sun, waning moon, Mercury when it's with the cruel planet, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, and Mars. And we got 7 guys that make life hard. Now, hard does not mean bad, and good does not mean, good does not mean, soft and nice doesn't mean good, okay? You can get a disease by, stepping on a piece of glass and get an infection in your foot. Well, that's Mars. That's a cruel way to get a disease. Or you can go out, have the most amazing one-night stand, and then next thing you know, you got a disease the next day, right? It's a wonderful way to get a disease. If you're going to have a disease, which way do you want to get it? The fun way, right? So the nice planets, the benefics, they just give things out in fun ways. But that doesn't mean they give good things always. And the cruel or malefic planets, they make life hard. But that doesn't mean they do bad things. So keep that in mind. But so this just shows with so many cruel planets compared to just a few nice guys, the simple fact that life is hard. And since spades is about staying alive, basically, it's about being alive on planet Earth, where in a world where there's more cruel planets than nice planets, this makes this suit not a nice suit, because life is hard. It's just a simple fact. But that doesn't mean it's bad. So you won't want to have any ideas that spades are bad. They're hard. So some of the meanings we get for spades, some of the classic meanings and other meanings, are anger, challenges, delays, elimination, force, frustrations, hate, karma. Of course, karma is a new term, right? Learning about self, loneliness, movement, mysteries, negative emotions, pressure, problems, secrets, sickness. These are all things we don't want to deal with. And these are, in classical card reading, when you cast a card and you see a spade, you're dealing with a problem. You're never dealing with anything nice, okay? But why are you dealing with the problem? Because life is hard. That's the basic reason. So let's go over this. Anger. And these are in alphabetical order. They're not in any special order. They're just in alphabetical order. So anger is attributed to spades. Well, spades are about self. And who is it that you really get angry with? There's only one person we get angry with in this world, and that's number 1. The spades. Suit number 1, ourselves. So if we're not at peace with ourselves, which is our spade, we're going to have anger. Okay? One of the main reasons we're here in life is to have peace with ourselves. To grow into a healthier spade, basically. That process requires us dealing with things that frustrate us and causes anger. We get angry at ourselves for our failings and everything else. And our job as we continue to grow is to come to greater peace. How do you know if you're in peace? Do you climb into the top of a tower and bolt your doors and pull up your hair and not throw any ropes down and then have peace? No. You know you have peace. You know how much peace you have because you go out in the world and you get angry. Things don't work out and you get angry. And that shows you I'm an angry person. I'm angry at myself, right? Somehow, some way. Spades are always about self. Anger is all about self. So that's why anger comes out of spades. There's no other reason, okay? Challenges. Well, challenges. You see a spade? We've got challenges. Why? Because life is hard. Nothing else needs to be said. It's hard to stay alive on this planet. It's hard to move forward in this planet. Anything you want to do? Challenges. So you cast a spread and you see spades? Well, the person's going to be dealing with challenges. You cast a spread and you see spades? The person's going to be dealing with being angry because of how they are. That they're away, that's not making life work the way they want to, and that's a lot of reason to get angry. But then we blame the anger on somebody else. But it's always because we ourselves do not have the life and strength within us to make life work the way we want. And then we're angry at ourselves for that, Here we are, children of God, and we're all little weaklings. That's like a frustrating, angry place to be in. Then delays. When you see spades come up, you've got delays. Even in a good spread, if you see spades coming up. So say you get the ace of hearts and the queen of hearts, you're like, wow. And then you get the four of spades. All right, the relationship's going to be perfect in time, right? You're going to meet the woman in time. When you see spades, it's delays because, life takes time. It's the truth. Rahu and Saturn, two of the cruel planets, are what we call delaying factors. There's two delaying factors in life. So a lot of the hardships in life is the fact that things just take time. It's a normal process. It's not a bad part of spades. Spades are the realistic suit. They're the way it really is. And the way it is that everything takes time. Like I used to go to this restaurant in Washington, and it was a Thai restaurant. And it had a little sign next to every booth. Like you'd sit there, there'd be a little sign that said, "Good food takes time." And so whenever I think of delays, that's what pops into my head. Good food takes time. Well, their food eventually turned out not to be as good, so we quit going there. And it always took a lot of time. But it's true. Anything in life takes time. Good things take time too. So if you see spades, delays. Why? Because you're cursed? No. Is the person cursed? No. Because things take time. Why do things take time when we live in a world where we're children of God, where we supposedly can have the mental power to change our lives in a moment, to get whatever we want in a moment? The reason is because we've got inconsistencies in ourselves. We've got the anger within ourselves. We've got the frustration in ourselves. We have the lack within ourselves. And so it takes time to work those things out. And as we work those things out, we get more deserving, and we feel more deserving. And then, finally, we get the thing we wanted. And that makes it worthwhile. It's like, wow, I did it. It made it worthwhile. Why does it make it worthwhile to work for something? Because as you worked for something, which is a spade, you became a better person. So it's worthwhile to become a better person. That's why that thing feels so good. Whereas if you get something for free, you don't appreciate it. Why? Because you're not a better person before and after, right? So how can you really appreciate it? Because ultimately, it's all about number one, the spades, suit number one. It's all about ourselves. And if we didn't get better, getting something better really doesn't do it for spades. It'll do it for diamonds for a little while. You get all excited about some new diamonds, And you can have a lot of expectations, with your club suit. You can have these big expectations about how great something's going to be. And with diamonds, you can have a little taste of something wonderful. But then to that, few seconds of time, you're back to your spades. If you didn't become better through the payment of that thing, it's really not something that you're going to care about very long. Okay? And this holds true in all things that we do. Another key word for spades is elimination. So we might have eliminations of things. Get rid of things. Does that mean kill your enemies? Yeah, it means eliminate your enemies. But it mostly means eliminating the things about yourself and your life that's not working. Okay? Life is hard. What that means is we need things that work, right? Spades have to do with the fact that life is hard, therefore I can't keep this because it's not working. So that's why spades will give all kinds of terminations and endings and breakups. Because things are not working. So somebody dies. Why? Because their liver's not working, their heart's not working, their vascular system's not working, their diet's not working, Their car's brakes aren't working. We die because things aren't working, spades. And so we eliminate things that don't work. It's just what spades do. So if you're dealing with a life and things are just not working for you, when you see spades come up, that's wonderful. You're like, wow, good, get rid of this stuff. Okay? And it should be a nice sign to see spades come up when things aren't working in your life. But what if things are working in your life? And then spades come up. What that means is you think things will work in your life, and they probably really aren't. Okay? Or you're going to find out something about yourself that makes you realize, wow, my life wasn't really working the way I thought it was. Because we do that. We grow and we change and we come to understand things in a different light. And something that seemed to have been working shows us that maybe it really wasn't working, or if it was, it ain't working no more. Like when you buy a car, it works good when it's new. But eventually the car might not work. And it's the same with anything we do in life. You can have the greatest job, and then all of a sudden you got all these spades coming up on your job. Well, that means your job's going to quit working. It might be really obvious that it's not working, or it might just disappear on you and you might feel cheated. Well, it disappeared because it's no longer working for your development. Same with the person. You can think you have the best relationship, everyone's happy, and all of a sudden they're gone. They either die or they run off with somebody else, or they just decide to go be a monk or something, and all of a sudden you're alone. Why? Because it's not working anymore. Because the person who wants to run off with someone else isn't going to work for you. The person who dies certainly isn't going to work. And the person who all of a sudden needs to go be a monk isn't going to work either. Even though they worked up until that point, all of a sudden they're not working. And so what do? We cry, oh boy, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, over something that's not working anymore, just because it did. Now why does that happen? Because life is about change, right? We're dealing with life here. Life changes. Spades have a lot of serious changes in them. There's no card that's more changing than the middlemost spade, the 5 of spades, right? I mean, if that's not a card of change, I don't know what is. So life changes. Just because it's good now, and it helps you now and gives you what you need now, doesn't mean it'll do that later and that you need it to do that. The wisdom is knowing that when spades come up, it's not going to work for me anymore. I might want it to work for me, and the more I need it and want it to work for me when it's not, the more I get the shit part of spades, which is pain and suffering and gloom and depression and suicide, and I don't want to live anymore. Okay? But if we just go, oh, it's a spade, this means it's just not working no more. Why would I want to keep something that's not working anymore? You know? Why would I want someone to keep me if I'm not working anymore? Why would my car want to keep a 90-year-old blind driver driving it? And why would anybody want to drive a 90-year-old car without a windshield or a motor in it? Okay? No one would. So that's how you want to look at spades. It's time to eliminate this because it's not working anymore. Okay? Another part of spades is force. Okay? Force, as in applying force to anything. Okay? Why force? Because life is hard. Force is how we deal with the hard things of life. We force. You know, it feels like we're forcing our way up a hill, you know, marching up a hill, right? So sometimes we have to force because it's hard. We have to use force and will and power. Any idea of force, willpower, will force, you know, those are spades. So when you see spades coming up, it means, yeah, you might have to force something for a while. You know, you might have to force your depressed ass off the couch and out there to have a good life. You might have to force it, you know. You might have to force yourself past your fears. You know, it's a time where, yeah, life is hard. Let's force ourselves, you know. So sometimes that's what needs to be done. You need to apply force. Sometimes you have huge opposition, enemies coming in the shape of spades. Things you have to use force against because you have a right to live. So you have to use force against those things that are destroying you, against the parasites that are eating you, the bacteria that are killing you, and the doctors who are taking all of your money, you know. You might have to just forcefully change all that. So when you see spades, yeah, force is part of it. Then the other good F word, frustrations. Okay? Frustrations, when you see spades come up, it's going to be frustrating. Why? Because a person can't make it happen. Why? Because they're not aligned completely. Something in them is not aligned. And then they get angry. We're angry with ourselves when we're not aligned. And so we get these frustrations. Okay? And the difference, I have two words here, anger and frustrations. Anger I'm using in the context of you're angry at things. Why? Because you're really angry at yourself for some reason. All right? That's more the psychological word. And then there's frustrations. Just that things just don't work easy. Life is hard. You know, you go to fix something, and you got all your tools and all your parts, and you get in there, and you know you got all the tools and all the parts, and you watch the video on YouTube on how to fix it. It just, damn it, doesn't fix the way it's supposed to, that it did in the book or on the video. Then you start cussing, adding some magic words, bruising a few knuckles, and then it's done, and you go off and take a shower and say, damn, that was frustrating, you know. That's just a normal part of life. Okay, that's just how it is down here, you know. So frustrations are simply things, the fact that things just don't work easy, okay. So when someone comes in and there's a spade and there's some hearts, that means there's something frustrating about making their love life work. It's just not coming together the way you dream it would. Or there's some diamonds, some wealth and money in there, and there's some spades. It's like, oh, they're just frustrated that the money's just, there's frustrations. inconveniences, problems to making that come together. Okay? I actually forgot a word. I skipped one here. I skipped the B word, okay? Bitter. All right? So bitter is a quality of spades. Anger is a quality of spades, but so is bitter. Okay? Bitter is something that comes when life is so frustrating that it leaves a bitter taste, right? Or when you can't make life work even though you try, and it gives you a bitter taste. You know, that bitterness is the idea that life's just not fair, you know? You get a bitter taste. And so you might see a person when you cast some spades and spades come up that they're bitter about something, okay? Especially lots of times if you see in the past some spades and then there's some things going better in the future. But that's those past spades, which could be bitterness or they could be anger, they could be holding that, they'll literally be holding that good stuff in the future from coming close. Because read the whole spread. You've got lots of spades in the back, in the past. You've got bitterness, you've got anger, that are keeping that person from wanting to rush forward into those nicer cards. And that'll cause a delay to them getting all those nicer cards. Because they'll have to go in there, experience those nicer cards, and slowly move forward. Where if they had really nice cards in the past, you know, some sweet cards, not spades, then they're going to be able to move into that nice, pretty future just so much more smoothly. Spades cause delays. And one of the reasons they do, because there'll be a bitterness and angerness, or I'm going to skip to number L here, loneliness. Okay? Some people just, when things don't work out, they just feel lonely. One person gets frustrated, one person gets bitter, another one gets lonely. Why? Because they just feel like the whole world doesn't give a shit about them. You know, if the world cared about me, if God cared about me, He would have made fixing this car a lot easier. You know? He would have made my relationship work. He would have made things actually work if anyone cared, but no one cares and I feel totally lonely. Our personality will, to some degree, determine how we really experience the disappointments of spades. But the main ways are anger, bitterness, and loneliness. Okay? But again, these are just how we can feel when life doesn't work. And it often doesn't work. And it never, ever works according to our schedule. So when you see a spade come up, it's saying life is not working according to schedule. It's going to take more force than you feel like it. It's going to be more frustrating than you feel like it. It's going to take longer than you feel like it. But hey, it can all, after that, it can all be peachy. Okay? All right. Then hate. Hate is a big part of spades. You know? If you see, you know, a nice, loving card and it's got two troublesome spades on both sides of it, you can say, you hate that person. And they're like, yeah, I hate that person, you know. You wouldn't believe what that person did to me. Okay? So spades can give hate. Now what is really hate? Well, it's all about, hate is one of them things that's all about number one. It's all about the suit of spades. It's all about yourself. Over our life, and over our lifetimes, let's say, we develop a love-hate relationship with ourselves. Okay? The hate part is the spades. The love part are the hearts. Okay? So just as hearts equal love, spades equal hate. So why do you hate them? Well, we only can hate somebody because we hate some part of number one. So spades always create these painful emotions to help us reflect on ourselves. So hate is a possibility. When you see spades come up, you should be thinking, who is it that this person hates? Oh yeah, themselves. But who are they projecting it on? Okay, oh, that's a Queen of Hearts upside down. They had a hateful mother, so how can they really not hate their mom to some degree, right? Okay, if your mom hates you, there's a part of you that hates yourself. You know? Because that's the only way you get a mom that hates you. So, real simple old meaning, hate. Okay? Karma. Well, karma is a modern meaning. And karma kind of pulls all this stuff together. Is that we create circumstances, we attract circumstances to become better people. That's my definition of karma. Karma comes to kick your ass when you need it in a way that it can benefit your growth. Okay? So spades happen, you know, these frustrating, painful, lonely, bitter-producing things happen at times when God thinks you're ready to become a better person. Okay? Karma is not a blind agency of God. It's an intelligent aspect of God that says, you're ready to grow, so I'm going to drop this karmic shitload on you right now, okay? So you take it, and you grow through it, and you feel better. So that's a common meaning you'll hear tossed around with karma. I never really use it in a reading. I don't like to use the karma word so much in like a card cast reading. If I see spades, I'm not going to say karma. But you'll see a lot of people give that meaning. So I just wanted to mention it. It is that whole process of development against the obstacles and hardships and disappointments that life gives us. It's essentially what karma is in the sense of this word. Now we know, if you really study Hinduism, there's all kinds of karma, and karma doesn't just mean getting, trashed by life, because you were an evil being or anything like that. There's good karma. Karma is just the fact that there's energies circulating through our lives that come along to sometimes please us and sometimes haunt us. And when they come to please us, they're coming at a time where we need that little healing balm to help us on our growth. And when they come to beat us, it's when we need some force in our life, some difficulty in life to force us out of our negativity, okay? As, let's say motivational pats on our butt to become a better person, all right? All right, another part of spades, and really a big part, is learning about self. And that's also, obviously going to be inferred. It is the self suit. But it's learning about self. All these spade things come to us to learn about things about ourselves that we don't know. One thing spades have to do is mysteries and secrets, especially mysteries and secrets about ourselves. And so when spades comes up, it's learning about self. What is learning about yourself? It's solving a mystery about yourself. Okay? It's learning something about yourself. It's finding out a secret about yourself. Okay? So, whenever you see a lot of spades, you say, look, if you want this to work, the key is learning about yourself. This will not work until you've learned something about yourself. You got the perfect big money card coming up, but there's some spades hovering around it. You're going to get a lot of money as soon as you learn a few things about yourself. So let's concentrate and focus on these spades and see what it is that you need to learn about yourself before you get that huge payday of the 8 of diamonds there. Okay? All right. Loneliness, as I mentioned, it's a natural part of life. Being a self, being an individual, being a spade is a lonely business. Sometimes you get to connect to other spades and make a heart. But the bottom line is, being an individual is a lonely business a lot of the time. So it's a natural part of spades. So if you see a lot of spades in the spread, you're going to say it's going to take a lot of alone time to accomplish this. Okay? It's a nice spread, but there's some spades. It's about love. Okay, looks good. You guys are in love, but you're going to be lonely a lot. So does she work night shift and you work day shift, or does she live in another state? And they'll say it's one of those things. Or it's some other thing causing loneliness. That's not allowing them to come together as much as they want. Because ultimately life is about self. And so loneliness is indicated by this self-suit. It means, okay, you have to spend more time than you want alone. And that's why she lives in another state right now. Okay? Because it's time for spades. It's time for self-learning, learning about mysteries of yourself. And you're not going to try to learn those mysteries if you're having a lot of fun with that girl. So instead, we're going to put her in another state, give her the night shift, whatever, so you hardly see each other, you suffer loneliness, and you have the time to become a better spade, become a better self, okay? Spades have to do with movement. You think, why would spades have to do with movement? Trees don't move. You're right, they don't move. However, their roots travel. Think of it that way. We literally say that, oh, the roots travel. They really do. The roots travel underground. They're creating these little tunnels through the ground and traveling sometimes a long ways away from the tree, depending on the species of tree. So they are into traveling. Why do they travel? Why do trees or spades travel? They travel because they need something from somewhere else. So our self will go where it needs for the nourishment it needs to survive. The same way that the tree's roots are traveling into the soil, deeper and wider, throughout their entire life, expanding. So sometimes we'll travel too. Now the biggest travel spade, of course, is the 5 of spades, which means you're in dirt that's just not going to nourish you, not going to prepare the foundation for your life, not going to give the environment that you need to be yourself. So we have a big travel change going on, okay? But all spades indicate potential travel. And we'll talk about that more as we come up with these meanings. So yeah, spades can get travel, but the purpose of the travel of a spade is specifically the self needs something that's not where it is. Okay? It's not getting what it needs where it is, therefore it must travel to survive. That's a spade. Okay? It's not, let's go on vacation. Alright? Okay. Where was I here? Movement. Okay. Mysteries. Alright, rules mysteries. One of the main reasons spades rules mysteries is because the ace of spades is so hidden. So the whole suit of spades starts underground, hidden underground where you don't see it. It's a mystery what's under the ground. The seed pops up. It looks like every other seed. Unless you're a botanist, when the seed first just kind of goes boing and just starts sprouting, unless you're a botanist, you don't know what it is. It could be any plant known to man as far as the average person is concerned. There's a mystery. What's it going to be? And then finally, it gets a little bigger. It goes into the two of spades, or sorry, the three of spades. And at the three of spades, you're like, oh, it's a peach tree. Or maybe it's a plum tree. Think it's a peach tree. But what kind of peaches? Green peaches, nectarines. It could be a variety. There's still a mystery. Even at the three, there's a mystery. Then at the four of spades, it's like, oh, it's definitely not a plum tree. It's definitely a peach tree. But you still don't know what flavor the peaches are going to be yet. What kind of peaches are going to be. Are these big peaches, little peaches? You don't know. Even at the four, you don't know. At the five, you start figuring it out. And finally, at the six of spades, there's no more mystery. It's a peach tree. But there's some mystery all the way up to the six of spades. So when you see any card up to the six of spades, you know there's a mystery. There's something you don't see. There's something there that you're not seeing. Same for secrets, another word for mystery. Sometimes you want to use that word, oh, it's a mysterious person. And meaning, oh, there's something you need to find out about this person, versus, oh, they're keeping secrets from you. They're very different terms. So I use both of them here. So, mysteries and secrets. All the way up to the six of spades, but not including the six. All the way up to five of spades. And then the 10 of spades means there's an element of mystery. Okay? There's an element of mystery at the 10 of spades. Okay? And then you get to the 8 of spades and even the 9 of spades. And you're like, not 9 of spades so much, but definitely at the 8 of spades. And there's a mystery. Is this tree going to give fruit? It looks so old and worn and weathered. I wonder if it'll give fruit. Should I cut it down? Or will I just give it another year and see if it puts any fruit out before I turn it into firewood? So there's still, even at the 8 of spades, there's this little mystery re-emerging. So the suit has mysteries and secrets. Well, how do you figure out what the answer is? Time, right? One of the reasons spades give delays is because it takes time to solve the mysteries. It takes time to find out what kind of tree it is, right? It takes time to find out what within you is preventing the happiness of that nice diamond or that nice heart that's in your spread. Okay? So, this is why. We got to have the time to solve the mysteries. All negative emotions can be part of spades. I kind of mentioned them: loneliness, depression, of course, bitterness, frustrations, anger, all these possible lonely emotions, okay, are all part of the spades, or negative emotions, sorry. Another thing is pressure. Had another word that's close to this word, force. How are force and pressure different? Okay, force means you have to exert yourself against something. You have to force things to work. Okay? Pressure is you have to do this or else. Okay, so force is the energy you apply to make something happen. Pressure is the intensity within you of do this or else. So if you can't make it, if you can't swim across this ocean now that your boat has sunk, you're going to die. Talk about pressure, right? That's a lot of pressure. If you don't pass this test, you're not going to go to college and you're going to be a rickshaw driver. Well, that's pressure, okay? There's these times in life where if we don't make it, our quality of our life is going to suffer. And that's what pressure is, okay? Spades will show that. So if you see a lot of spades, you say, oh my God, you're under a lot of pressure. And you're like, yeah, if I don't get this visa, and can't move to that country, You know, my girl said she's going to go off with her old boyfriend again. So I'm under all this pressure. So is this the right lawyer to get me the visa? You know, because maybe they're asking about, should I get this lawyer to help me get a visa? Well, it's about another person. You know, you see a heart in there or something. But there's a spades, this pressure, that they're under pressure to make things work with this person. So you also see spades come up like that, where if they're not able to succeed in something, it's over. That good thing is gone. So when you see a lot of spades, you see a good thing, you can say, oh, you're under a lot of pressure to get this work. You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, or maybe some cards will tell you, ooh, this is what's putting a lot of pressure on you. Your parents will put a lot of pressure on you to get married, but you don't want an arranged marriage, you know, but they're going to yell at you and throw you out if you don't. You know, you'll see these pressures. So when you see spades, pressure is always a possibility. Okay, why? Because life is hard. Life is a pressurized thing at times. There's times in life where everything comes to a boiling point, and it's break it or make it, right? And that's the pressure time. So those could be some really fun spreads when you see those. And in the birth card system too, you see a lot of spades one year, you just say, dude, you're under pressure this year. Okay? Problems. Yeah, spades are about problems. Why? Because you're evil? No, because life is hard. Everything's a problem down here. You know, remember when you're trying to tie your shoes? You don't remember because you're scarred for life from all the problems of trying to figure out how to tie shoes. Okay? Even a basic thing like keeping the shoes from falling off your feet is a huge problem to solve. But once solved, it's automatic. That's the beauty of it. So problems are basically every time we do something new, and spades is the first suit, it's all about you doing something new. That's what a spade is. It's the new you, doing something new. There's going to be problems when you do that new thing. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter how much your experiences are. It's going to be a new problem. Like I work on cars a lot, and there's certain cars I work a lot on, and I can like work on those on my sleep. Then I'll get a new car, and I'll do the very same job on the new car, and I'll be cussing for 6 hours while I'm doing it. And when I'm done, no one wants to be around me because I'm full of grease. I got grease in my hair, and I'm angry and pissed because the problems were like crazy. And it should have been easy because I'd done that job on 5 other cars within a few minutes, and this one took me 6 hours. Because it was a new car, or simply a different car. Okay? So, anytime you do something new, you have a new adventure, it's going to be problematical. That's just life on Earth. There's no other way. It doesn't matter how much you study, how much we prepare for it. The first thing is you're going to get hit by a problem. It's not personal, it's just spades. It's just life. So much of spades are just life. And that's what I want to tell you about this. Don't get so scared when you see spades all the time. Look at the spread and then get scared if you need to get scared. But so much of spades are just the fact that life has problems. Life is hard. Life's a bitch, you know. So, this is normal. Spades are normal to come up in a spread. What's really abnormal is when no spades come up in a spread, right? It's like, wow, you've done this before. In fact, you can say that. If no spades come up, you can say, you've done this before. And they're like, yeah, I've been in situations like this. I know exactly how to handle it this time. Like, perfect, okay? But usually a spade that coming up just means there's something new, there's a new dynamic, there's something new you're figuring about yourself. It's the number one suit, it's the first suit, it's the suit of the new challenges, the new things that will always present a problem to you. So you just figure it out and don't stress it more than you have to. Okay, I talked about secrets already, kind of went out of order there. So secrets is a part. Don't need to say anything more about that. The difference between mysteries and secrets. Secrets are things that are purposefully hidden from you. Whereas a mystery is just something that's unknown. Okay, that needs to get solved. Secrets need to be dug out. Mysteries need to be solved. Okay, and spades rule both those things. Now here's the beauty of secrets as an omen in your life. If you're dealing with a mystery, or you're dealing with trying to figure out a secret, that mystery, that secret, will literally be an omen of what you're trying to understand about yourself. Say you get into the spy thriller, and you're like, oh, I want to figure out what this mystery is. Try to relate the mystery, the symbol of that mystery, to your own personal life. Or you get wrapped up in something on the TV, like some news port. There's a mystery. A kid's gone missing. No one knows. Where'd the kid go? Or, is this and this celebrity, keeping secrets from their lover, and you really get into it and you want to know. It's because there's a mystery along a similar parameter. That is an omen to a mystery about yourself. And it gives, if you study that omen, it can help you see what is it within yourself that you're trying, that's mysterious and hidden and secretive, that makes you so drawn to this thing. Because if you're drawn to it, into it, it's about yourself. We only care about things that are ourselves. Nothing more. It's completely self-centered, spadey beings. If it's not about us, we don't care. So whatever it is that we're drawn to, there's a mystery to be solved sometimes about ourselves. That as that unfolds, and if we're aware, we'll see how that's really my process. That's my mystery I'm discovering. Okay. And then the final big key word, perhaps the most commonly used one, is disease, sickness, things like that. Okay, disease or sickness, however you want to call it. And that's because life is hard. It's hard to stay alive. What makes life especially hard to stay alive is all of the above. Hiding things from yourself, not facing yourself, keeping secrets from yourself. Well, that makes you more prone to disease. Being bitter, lonely, frustrated, angry, yes, that makes you more prone to disease. All these things that we can get wrapped up in, using excessive force, moving too much, having negative emotions, being under pressure too much, hating everybody or hating one person all the time. All these things of spades, if we don't put them into perspective of the benign things that they are, the signals of growth and progress with ourselves, you bet, they're all going to cause sickness eventually. They're just going to break us. Okay? So that's why spades, ultimately, a lot of people, the first word, really only word they'll say for spades is, disease. Mental, emotional, or physically diseased and sick. Okay? And yes, they'll be a part of that. But there are also the opportunities to heal, right? The cure is in the cold. The cure is in the disease. It's when you're sick that you get better. You don't get better until you're sick, right? And that's true. Like literally, you can have a toxic load in your system that makes you a sick person, but you don't get better until you get the flu and start burning those toxins out. Okay? So spades make you sick. Good. This means you have a moment of healing. You have an opportunity to heal. Spades are always this opportunity to heal, to get stronger, to get better with yourself. But it comes in these very mysterious ways. Okay? That's the nature of spades. So, next video I'll talk about the Ace of Spades, and we will then go through the whole spade suit with some really fun meanings of them. Alright, thank you.